So today we are making a video on Linux Mint 22 Wilma. So here is the boot menu of a Mac desktop environment of Linux Mint 22. So this is a stable release, so let's quickly boot it in a live boot. So I'm running it on a virtual machine which is Vmware with 60 GB of hard disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So this is going to take like 2 or 3 minutes to load up the desktop layout. Before that, I'm going to give you a disclaimer that there will be some mistakes and misspeaking throughout the video. Try to ignore all those things because I'm going to keep the video as raw as possible. So that's the reason there will be some mistakes and misspeaking. Try to ignore all those things, and it should take 2 or 3 minutes to load up the desktop layout, and I'm going to say how much of time it takes. So let's wait and see how much of time it takes and wait for the desktop layout to load. So here is the welcome screen or the desktop layout. It took 3 minutes to load up the desktop layout. So I'm running it on RAM, so it should be less in when you install it on the hard disk. So let me change the display resolution. So this is a Mac desktop environment, and there is a different environment also. I already made that videos also, you can watch it in my channel. So let's open the system monitor, and I'm going to change the display settings after seeing all these resources. So it's a stable release. The home page didn't have any information about the 22 Wilma, but I'm going to show all these things in the official website. So here is the Wilma. These are all the process. So I didn't touch anything other than the system monitor. So these are all the default or the system resource which consumes as soon as you start up the Linux distro. So it's almost 1000 MB of RAM, and the CPU we need to run like 60 seconds to get the exact graph of the CPU. Let's check about. Here is the version which is 1.26.3. I'm going to change the display settings now. So let's change the display settings. Let's go to all applications, preference, let's scroll it, and here is the display. My monitor is 1920 x 1080 with a 16:9 ratio. I'm going to click apply, keep this configuration. If you want, you can change the 100% and 200% for the scaling. So panel icon, show monitors in panels. Here you can see. So I already applied, keep this configuration. Let me close it, and I'm going to put the system monitor in the right side corner throughout the video so you can see all the changes throughout the video. So let's go to the official website. Let me open the Firefox web browser, and here you can see all the process. So these are all the process. Let's keep it resources. So usually Firefox should take like 15 to 20 seconds, and here we have the browser. Let's make it bigger, and let's see the version. So I already made the beta versions of all the 3 desktop environments of Linux Mint 22 Wilma. So if you want to check that out, yeah, there is already videos also. So the version you get is 128, which is latest version. So let me type in about support for some distro info and some browser information. You need to type in about support, and you should be seeing all the information here. Just scroll it down and you should be getting all the information, the RAM, space, and all those things. You can just pause the video and read everything on your own, because I'm not going to go through all those things because it's going to make a video lengthy. Usually my videos will be like 25-30 minutes, so that's the reason. So here are some of the information. So if you don't consider this is an important information, you can just skip the part. So here are some other information like a window and all those things will be here. You just need to pause the video and read everything. So let me go to the official website, which is linuxmint.com. Linux Mint. You can just type in Linux Mint, and the first link is the official website, or you can just directly type in linuxmint.com to go to the actual website. So on the home page, you don't see the latest version information. other than the blog which was released a few weeks ago. So here it says 2024/7/7, so it's a few days ago. So right now it's just Linux Mint 21.3 Virginia. And about the Wilma, you need to go to the, let me go to the mirrors for the stable ISO file. And here are all the mirrors. You can go through all the mirrors if you want. There are plenty of countries available. Choose your country, or you can choose the worldwide. I'm choosing the layer online. And here you can see the Debian stable and testing. So go to the stable and you should be seeing the 22 version, which is 22nd July 2024. Click on 22 and you should be seeing 3 desktop environment: Cinnamon, Matte and XFCE. Right now we are making a video on the Matte desktop environment, so let me click on the Matte desktop environment and here is your download. So I'm using a VPN, so that's the reason it's a bit of slow. So I'm going to close it. So that's the downloading process. If you want some features and some blog, all those things, you can just go from blog here, or you can just scroll it down and get to the monthly news here, or else you can go with the blog. So here is the Wilma information. Let me close the ad. So this was the beta version information, so there will be same things. So these are all the system requirements you need to run the Linux Mint. So this says as a 2 GB RAM. So it's 2024. I'm going to recommend the 4 GB of RAM, and hard disk you need to have at least 25 GB, and monitor it says as a 1024x768. It's 2024. Most of the people should be having like a 1920x1080 or sometimes like a 1366x768. So it's all the system requirements. You can go with the what's new in the Linux Mint and the release notes. So these are all the changes you should be seeing in the Wilma, which is 22. Better language support for the new technology, and support for popular features, software manager, better security. So these are all the information. You can just go to the website, or else you can just wait for a few hours and you should be seeing all the information in the home page, which will be right here. The ISO files already is available, but they will be updating all those things, so you don't need to worry about that. And the support, it's supported until 2029. So already you can just watch everything in the official website, or just wait for a few hours and you should be seeing the complete information there. So I'm going to close the browser. Let's open the terminal. So don't try to update right now. Just wait for like 1 or 2 days. Don't download as soon as the ISO files are released. You need to wait for a few days at least. You can test it on the virtual machines or VMware, like all those things. You can even try the live boot. Just don't update right now. If you have already stable operating system, don't try to update right now. Just wait for a few hours or maybe 1 or 2 days. We don't know whether we have any bugs or anything like that. So if we don't have any bugs, it's a good thing to update. But it's better to wait for a few days, not just updating instantly. So it's better to wait until all the information is available in the home page, and watch other channels too, whether the ISO file is stable and all those things, whether they have any bugs or anything like that. So usually there should be no bugs, but it's better to wait only when you already have a stable running computer. It's better to wait for like a 2-3 days and then go with the installation. So let me type in, before that let's check the version. Here is the Matte terminal. Let me type in commands inxi, and here is my CPU, here is the kernel, storage, inxi version, memory consuming, and process running at 284. Let me type in another command, which is inxi and -b. Hit enter. So host, it says as a Linux Mint. Kernel, which I already mentioned. The distro, it says Linux Mint 22 Wilma, and the Matte desktop environment is 1.26.2. and I'm running it on a virtual machine, so it says as a VMware. Here is the CPU and graphics information, monitor resolution, Xorg version is already here, display is X11, XVLAN, WGFX version, my monitor resolution. Here is the OpenGL version, some other information. You can just pause the video and read everything. Let me type in another command, which is inxi -F. Hit enter. So you get additional information like audio, which is Pipewire, ELSA, and all the versions are here. Here is the network version, drives, partitions, sensors, and info. Let me type in inxi -G. Hit enter. It should be loaded in a few seconds, and here is other information. Let me type in neofetch. So you pretty much get all the things pre-installed, so you just need to type in commands to get the distro information. Here is the theme, icons, all the information. Let me type in cat /etc/issue. So Linux Mint 22 Wilma. So let me type in inxi -SV8. So this will grab all the distro information, including repositories, vulnerabilities, and Bluetooth and all those things. So let me show you. So here is the complete information. Just pause the video, or you can change the playback speed in the YouTube settings, and you should be seeing everything in a slow-mo. So in order to see everything, it's better to pause the video and read everything according to your wish. So here is all the available monitors, available monitor resolution. So we got all the information. Let's try the HTOP. So HTOP is not pre-installed, you need to install it on your own. I'm going to close it. Let's check some desktop backgrounds and some desktop features. So appearance, preferences. So memory went almost 1.3 GB. CPU, for some reason it says as 100%, CPU 2, and CPU 1 is 18%. So it's still taking a time here to load up. So this is a stable ISO file. Here are some date and locations and all those things. The volume. Here is internet connection. And here is our wallpapers. So there are a lot of wallpapers in the 22. So some of them are from the previous version. So you can change according to your wish. Let me show you all the wallpapers. So these are pretty good. Looks like a HD wallpapers. Here are good wallpapers. When you scroll it down, you should be seeing more wallpapers. So I'm going to keep this one. This is pretty good. So there are also some good wallpapers here. You can choose the colors, like a solid color, and you can zoom or you can keep it like that. Solid color, horizontal gradient, vertical gradient. Again, these are all from the previous version too. So if you want more backgrounds, you can click on here. You can add, you can remove the backgrounds. So I opened the get more backgrounds online. So here is the theme. There are a lot of themes available. Even the previous version has a lot of themes, so you can change according to your wish. I'm choosing this one. Let's check the background. Here are the fonts. You can add new fonts. Here is the interface. Let me close it. So also available in here you can find a great selection of backgrounds over matte look. Here are the backgrounds if you want. I don't want to open anything like that. So let's check like panels. About panels 1.27.1. You can customize the panels By properties, if you want, you can auto hide, show hide buttons. Orientation, you can choose wherever you want, like a right, left, and the bottom, top you can choose. So add to panel, you can add to panel, custom application launcher, battery, charge monitor. So these are all the available things. These are all the customization things, so it's clearly up to you to do whatever you want. So let's go and check the installer. So the RAM is pretty much good, and the CPU is a bit of high because maybe of the installer is running in the background. And let's wait, it should take a few seconds and it should be good with the installation. So process, these are all the process running right now. It's almost like a 15 minutes uptime. So these are all the resources. Here we have the installer. So it took a bit of time, like a 30 to 40 seconds maybe. I don't think that that's 30 seconds. It should be like a maybe 20 seconds. So here you need to choose your language. So if you already know how to install, so you don't need to watch this, you can just skip this part. Here is the language. After choosing the language, here is the keyboard layout. You can type here to keyboard layout. You can detect your keyboard. I am choosing the English United States and this variant. Click on continue. And again, this is an old installer, so there is nothing in the installer new. So you get the old installer as the same previous version. So if you want to install multimedia codecs, you can check this button if you want. Click on continue. Preparing Ubuntu drivers, it's going to take like maybe 30 to 40 seconds. Usually it's going to take that much of time in my PC. So I'm not going to wait for that. Let me see what are the applications we get pre-installed. So I'm going to keep it all. So these are all the pre-installed applications you get from the Linux Mint 22 Wilma Matte desktop environment. So you should be getting all this same type of applications in every desktop environment, whether it's a Cinnamon or XFCE or the Matte. So everything will be same. So you don't get any bloatware or anything like that. You just get some applications from the Matte desktop environment and from the Linux Mint, and you don't get any other bloatware applications. You just get the basic things. So the installation type, so if you're a new user or a new comer to Linux, you need to watch tutorials in the YouTube, like 4 to 5 videos of short videos of installation, and you should be good with the installation. So basically, erase disk can install Linux Mint. The answer is really here, or the explanation is really right in front of you. It's going to erase whatever hard disk you choose, and it's going to install the Linux Mint 22 on that specific hard disk. So here are some advanced features. If you don't know how to do the installation, it's better to watch videos. I already made a lot of tutorials on how to install, but I made like 3000 videos. It's pretty much very hard to point out in which video I installed in the hard disk or a virtual disk. And also my videos will be lengthy, like 25 minutes. It's better to watch like a short videos, because you don't need to be getting bored by just watching the installation video. Just watch like a 2 or 3 minutes video and you should be good with the installation. And something else is like you need to create a partition, and you can install that Linux Mint 22 on that partition. And you should be getting the boot menu options with the 2 operating systems. One is the current operating system which you are using, and the other will be Linux Mint 22. And after choosing the option, click on install now. It's going to give you the user account, like a username, password. You need to provide all those things, same as every Linux distro and same as every operating system. And the installation is going to take like 20 to 25 minutes maximum. It depends on the PC, and it also depends on the ISO file. If the ISO file is stable, you should be good with the installation. And if it's a beta version or the development version, if the ISO file is like a beta version or development version, it's going to sometimes the installation going to be failed. In rare cases, the installation will fail. Most of the time it will work. And the stable version, here 100% it's going to be installed. However, Sometimes if any bugs, maybe 1%, sometimes it's not going to be it's going to be have some issues. But Linux Mint, it's pretty much you will be getting all the stable things, so it's better wait for the stable ISO files. But if you want to try it in the live boot or maybe the virtual machines, you can exactly try whatever the ISO file is it, because you can delete the virtual disk whenever you want, and also the live boot you can remove the ISO file and you should be good with the current operating system. So I'm going to close the installation because I need to make another video. So I'm going to close the installation. So we pretty much covered every important thing. So let's see the control center and check some other features. So the backup tool, here is the driver manager, login window, printers. So I'm going to open some useful applications or useful settings. So software sources, and let me open the update manager, Bluetooth adapters, Bluetooth manager, disks. I want to show all the important because this is a stable ISO file, so I need to show most of the things. So that's the reason I'm going to open a lot of things here, like a power management, and here is the keyboard. I don't need to show the keyboard shortcuts because it's clearly customizable. Here is the appearance, pop-up notifications. So I already showed the appearance also. Let me close it. Notifications, screensaver. There will be nothing in the screensaver, but I'm going to show it however. Windows, preferred applications, assistive technology, startup applications, online accounts. So we pretty much covered everything. So I'm going to close the. So this is a stable release, and as you can see there is something going in the background. So that's the reason it's better to wait for a few hours. So it should be some issues in the virtual machine. I don't know how it performs in the bare metal. And I'm using 8 GB of RAM and I have like a i5 1240p. As you can see, the CPU is good and the RAM is also good, but we are seeing some black background in the behind the all the applications or behind the settings. So I don't know, maybe it should be problem from the virtual machine or from the ISO file, I don't know. But just opening few settings, here we see everything. Let's try to change all those things and we are good with all those things. So that was maybe some issue with the virtual machine. So the ISO file is still good, I guess. So let's try to move the application, and I can't move the applications. So I don't know what is the issue, and I'm going to make another Linux Mint video in the VirtualBox, and I'm going to see whether it's the issue with the virtual machine or maybe from the ISO file. But the CPU and RAM is pretty much good, but I don't know what is the cause for this. Let me keep it like a keep aspect ratio, free stretch, nothing is working. And I can't even move the applications or do anything. So I don't know what is the issue, but after opening some of the settings, I had an issue with it should be virtual machine. Most of the cases it should be with the virtual machine because VMware sometimes does this type of things. And I need to try it in the VirtualBox, and the next video of Linux Mint 22 will be on the VirtualBox, and I'm going to see whether it's going to be having this type of issue, or maybe the virtual machine is the issue, or the VMware. So I think I'm going to end this video because I pretty much covered all those things. Just because of settings we had an issue, and I'm going to end the video here. So I don't know what is the issue. Most of the cases it should be VMware, but it's always a good option to wait for a few days or like a few hours. If you already have the stable running computer, it's better to wait and then update after watching all those videos. So right now this is my issue. I don't know what's the problem, so I'm going to end the video here, and I'm going to run it in the VirtualBox and see how it works with the different Linux Mint other desktop environment. So again, thanks for watching. Peace out.